Jessie Janae here, working kind of late at the Lumi Loft, and tonight I have a story to share with you. Recently, I went to a business networking kind of event, and I was sharing the story of Lumi. And as I often do when I share that story, I mentioned that when I was a 16-year-old in Detroit, I would go to my local screen printing shop and I would ask them to try different experiments for me, do different techniques, all in an effort to try to get an amazing photograph onto cotton. And at a certain point, the guy who owned the shop told me that what I wanted, he couldn't do. And not only that, but no one could do it. It was impossible, that I should kind of stop while I'm ahead. And the teenager version of myself thought this was preposterous. I couldn't imagine that we could, take a man to the moon 40 years ago, and we could do open heart surgery today, but we couldn't print an amazing image or photograph onto a cotton t-shirt. And it was when I got to that exact point in my story that a woman piped up and she said, I think that the reason we figure those other things out sooner is because they're actually important to mankind. Clearly, her point being that what I was working on was not important to mankind, and, no one wants to feel like the thing that they've been working on for years, that they've dropped out of college for, gone into debt for, and missed other opportunities for, like Stefan and I both have for Lumi, isn't even important. So I gave this quite a bit of thought, and I decided something. I decided that I believe that finding something you're passionate about and finding a way to make that into a productive project is inherently good for mankind. It's good because when you're doing that, you are kind of like the best version of yourself. You are more perseverant. You're willing to stick with something through thick and thin because it's actually meaningful to you. You work harder. You treat those around you better, and you're probably producing something useful because you're acting on your passion. I also think it's important to note that not every project is clearly game-changing at the beginning. I highly doubt that every piece of technology and every innovation that went on the space shuttle, that went to the moon, was clearly brilliant when it was first developed. We develop things because we love to tinker, because we love to play, because it makes us feel good, because we like to build. And if we were to, put everything through the lens of whether it will change the world right when it starts, who knows how many things wouldn't be created. So back to Kickstarter. The most incredible part of this experience has been hearing your stories. Whether it's the mother-daughter team that can finally go into business together, or the fashion student that dreams of custom printing on the fly, you guys come up with applications and ideas that we couldn't even imagine. And I don't know exactly what qualifies as importance to all of mankind, but this process is very important to me, and I'm very excited to see what you do with it.